back into your school. I want to introduce our Spanish interpreter today. She's going to explain how to dial in and get your interpretation in Spanish.
Muy buenas tardes a todos los que están presentes en la tarde de hoy. Quiero dejarles saber que a todos que tienen ocular, tienen que estar en el canal 1. ¿Okay? El canal 1. Le puede dar el volumen y me van a poder escuchar. Para los que están en sus hogares, los invitados que desean escuchar el programa, pueden llamar, los números están en el cartel, al 564-217-2000. Introduzca el código 874-865-786-85 y la tecla de Libra. Gracias.
Thank you. And without further ado, I want to welcome up Dr. Santelices, CEO of our Baltimore City Public Schools. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Let me tell you one of my favorite things to do that never gets tired, and I'll try to talk slower, never gets tired, is opening up and celebrating new schools for Baltimore City Public School students. It is absolutely wonderful to be here to celebrate the additions and cut the ribbon for Highlandtown Elementary Middle School, number 237. I am pleased and also very honored to welcome Governor Larry Hogan, as well as Senate President Bill Ferguson, State Delegate Comptroller-elect Brooke Lierman, and I would also like to recognize our very own Commissioner Andrew Coy. And I don't know if Councilwoman McCray has joined us. I did hear she was on her way. But as always, I want to welcome you all and thank our fabulous partners at Baltimore City, the Maryland Stadium Authority, the Interagency Commission on School Construction, and the State of Maryland for your ongoing support for this transformative school construction program, and a shout out to our Mayor, Brandon Scott. But most importantly, before I turn it over to more of our dignitaries, I just want to remind us all that the wonderful work that we will get to see in terms of the learning spaces for young people is decades-long advocacy that many in our community, many families knew needed to happen, because this building, these additions are representative of what all of our young people deserve. So I want to thank students, families, community-based organizations, and the entire community that is Baltimore City for being the force behind getting our young people the buildings they deserve. And without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce Governor Larry Hogan.
It's so funny, Dr. Santelices walked off with all my remarks. I had to go back and get them. But good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be here with you at this beautiful new school. This is an exciting week for the city of Baltimore and for the state of Maryland as we dedicate 2 more new 21st century schools with this event here today at Highlandtown Elementary Middle School and a ribbon cutting tomorrow at Montebello Elementary Middle School. So I want to congratulate everyone who was involved in this incredible project. I especially want to thank Principal Ashley and all of the hardworking staff, the teachers. And I also want to thank the students and the families here at Highlandtown 237. I'm very pleased that we had the opportunity to work together with the community to design and deliver this project in just a little over 2 years, thanks to a great partnership between the Maryland Stadium Authority and the Baltimore City School System. And, you know, I've always believed that every single child in Maryland deserves access to a world-class education, regardless of what neighborhood they happen to grow up in. And that's why we've been doing everything in our power to provide students with better schools and better access to a quality education. We've made historic investments in education 8 years in a row, including a record $55 billion in local school systems. We brought the P-TECH model to Baltimore, giving students the opportunity to earn an associate's degree tuition-free, while simultaneously earning their high school diploma and getting the benefits of mentors and paid summer internships to give students a direct path from high school to college to a good-paying job. We launched the Access Initiative to provide equity in computer science education, including a partnership with Girls Who Code, which now has several chapters right here in Baltimore City. We launched Project Bounce Back to expand and improve Boys and Girls Clubs here in Baltimore City and all across the state. And we worked across the aisle with State Senate President Bill Ferguson to launch Connect Maryland and to bring much needed broadband access to more schools and households. And we worked together to deliver the largest school construction initiative ever in the history of the state of Maryland, so that not only Baltimore City, but every school jurisdiction in our state has the ability to dramatically accelerate their plans to modernize all school buildings in Maryland. Over the last 8 years, we've invested nearly $5 billion in school construction alone, the most ever in state history. And we have also ensured that this commitment to education will continue for years to come. And thanks to the Maryland Stadium Authority, under the leadership of Chairman Tom Kelso and Executive Director Mike Friends, and their efficient and effective project management of the 21st Century Schools building program, we have successfully delivered 27 new school buildings right here in Baltimore City since I've been governor. 27 new schools. And every single one of them was done on time and on budget. And we have just added the renovation of the historic Frederick Douglass building to modernize another high school campus. Providing equitable access to education depends on the vision and the leadership of all of our community leaders working together. And there is no better example of that partnership than this $27 million project, which preserves the history of Highlandtown 237, which has served this community for 96 years, while adding dozens of new state-of-the-art classrooms, bigger hallways for better access to the new gym and cafeteria, more pre-K and kindergarten classrooms, new art and music rooms, critical IT and security upgrades, and a clear path for community use. This truly is a shining example of what we can accomplish when all of us at the state and local levels work together on behalf of our children. Because of a new school is much more than just bricks and a new coat of paint. It represents a source of pride for a community, and it creates new possibilities and opportunities for our students, a place where they can learn and grow and reach their full potential so that they can continue to change Maryland and the world for the better. Thank you all very, very much. And now I want to, thank you. Now I want to ask Principal Ashley to come forward so I can present her with a governor's citation to commemorate this historic occasion. And now at this time, it's my pleasure and honor to introduce the senator from the 46th District here in Baltimore City, a great leader and a friend, the President of the Maryland State Senate, Bill Ferguson.
Thank you, Mr. Governor. It is truly an honor. I'm so thrilled that you could be here today. There are lots of places in the state of Maryland where the governor could be, but he chose to be here in Highlandtown, in Baltimore City, because of the importance of this investment. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor of serving as the President of the Senate, but most importantly, my most important job is being your neighbor, living right down the road here on Pratt and Linwood. It is this community that has grown so incredibly. The young people who have seen their dreams come alive in this building, that's the reason we are here today. I've also had the incredible opportunity to do it with my great teammates, Delegate Luke Klippinger, Delegate Robin Lewis, now Delegate soon-to-be Comptroller Brooke Lierman, and soon, that is applause-worthy. Although we are disappointed that she's going to be leaving us, you know, doing that statewide work is important too. But it is with their teamwork and partnership with the governor, with the members of the House of Delegates, that we've been able to make this investment. Very briefly, a number of you I know have heard this story before. I came to Baltimore to teach. I taught at what was the old Southwestern High School. And when I was given my classroom to teach 9th, 10th, and 11th graders, I was given a pair of keys and told to go up to my classroom and you know, start decorating the room and get everything ready. So I get the keys, I walk up to the second floor where my classroom was, and I look and I don't have a doorknob. So I have keys, but I don't have a doorknob in the door. And I walk back downstairs and say, well, there must be a mistake. It's the summer, something must have happened. They said, oh no, you're just gonna have to figure it out. And so I said, okay. So I went and got a pair of scissors and used a pair of scissors to like break my way into the classroom. About 2 weeks later, still no doorknob, and I went back and said, you know, is there any chance that I can get this doorknob replaced? And they said, oh no, I'm sorry, our budget for maintenance has already been expended for the year, so you're just gonna have to make it work. So for an entire year, I spent a year teaching 9th, 10th, and 11th graders in West Baltimore. Anytime somebody had to go to the bathroom, had to leave the classroom, raise their hand, I would pull out my pair of scissors out of my pocket and literally break out of the classroom. And I thought to myself, this isn't who we say we are. We can do better than this. We must do better than this. Kids know when buildings exist in that fashion that we can do more. We believe in them in a greater capacity. Fast forward about 8 more years, we were able to pass the 21st Century School Facilities Initiative. There's a number of people in this room. Bibi Verdery's here today from the ACLU, who deserves huge credit for her advocacy. Members of the school board, Sonia Santelises and Allison, and all of the 21st Century School Facilities team, the Stadium Authority, who's been incredible. All of this started with a piece of legislation, but it took getting it done. And over these last 8 years, from 2013 to 2022, the governor said it, I want to highlight it, Baltimore City, in partnership with the state of Maryland, has built 27 brand new 21st century school buildings, more than any other school district in the entire country. That is applause-worthy. And it's happened because of collaboration and a belief in the young people that sit in these seats here today. And so I am just so thankful for having the opportunity to be able to cut this ribbon. I'm so thankful for my partners in this work. We were able to do great things when we work together. And so without further ado, I would also like to invite Principal Ashley. You're going to get your steps in today, I think. I don't have a frame, unfortunately. The governor has that wonderful framing, but I do have a nice, wonderful Senate citation for you. And just if we could give Principal Ashley another round of applause for her incredible leadership throughout this. All right, without further ado, it is my distinguished honor to introduce our incredible mayor of the city of Baltimore, Brandon Scott.
Yeah, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon, Highlandtown 237. When I came in the building, I said, it feels so good to be home. You all know that I have a very special place, Mr. Governor, in my heart for our students, and to see so many of our school buildings getting the renovations through 21st Century has literally, for me, when folks ask me what am I most proud of in my time as an elected official, it is this partnership where we put everything else aside for the people that matter the most. That's our young people and our families. But this one is particularly special to me. But let me first, before I go any further, establish protocol and say thank you to the boss, Principal Ashley, for having us here at Highlandtown 237. In acknowledging our partners in government, Governor Hogan, Senate President Ferguson, I'll just say Comptroller-elect Delegate Brooke Lierman, our councilwoman, everybody, where's the chairman? Chairman Kelso and the folks at the Stadium Authority, Dr. Sangelises, the entire 21st Century Schools team, but most importantly, the Highlandtown 237 family, thank you for having me. Mr. Governor, you can clap for yourselves, of course. Mr. Governor, way back in 2012, when I was a 1 week and 2 days sworn-in council member, I first visited Highlandtown 237, and a fabulous woman by the name of Principal Ashley took me to say, I got something I need to show you, Councilman. And it was students learning in closets. That's literally how our young people were learning then. And that didn't sit right with me. So I did at the time what local representatives do. They got to work, which actually led to the principal and I convincing the city. We moved out a senior center out of the building and moved them to the park, and we were able to renovate a part of that for our young people. But even that additional space for Highlandtown 237 was not enough. And I think that's important to note because these students and this rising generation are Baltimore's most precious resource, and it's our obligation to prepare them for success. But it's also, we can only do that by providing them the environment for them to thrive. These two new additions on the northwest and east sides of the main building will equally benefit our elementary students and our middle school students. And these students will now have access to state-of-the-art technology, classroom, learning spaces designed for a 21st century education to go along with the new, brand new recreational spaces, LED light fixtures. Of course, my favorite is still the look view into the gym where Principal Ashley says I used to cause riots in the gym by getting the students riled up. But this is about leveling the playing field and giving our students an educational boost, closing the digital divide, and getting our students excited about their education. Because no one is going to be excited about learning in a closet. No one should have to do that. This type of partnership and investment shows that we're committed to ensuring our students have a competitive edge while exposing them to new career paths and opportunities. Our young people are the future of Baltimore, and our city school students deserve the same opportunities, the same top-class facilities that 21st Century Schools has brought to students across the country that every student in Maryland deserves. So today, and even with all the schools that we have been able to revamp, we all know that this journey is just beginning. As you heard from the Senate President, and we say consistently, especially for our friends in the media who need to be reminded of it, no one has built or renovated more new schools than Baltimore City in recent memory. And we are going to continue to do more because this is what our families deserve. This is what our students deserve. This is what we always should have had. So for me, as the mayor of Baltimore, again, I want to say thank you to each and every one of our partners. I want to congratulate the Highlandtown 237 community, and I want to say that the best is yet to come for all of us. And with that, Principal Ashley, I am going to do two things. Don't get up just yet. I'm going to first introduce you because that's my responsibility, and then give you your citation. So it is my pleasure to introduce one of the most fabulous, the most fierce, the boss of all the Baltimore City Public Schools, your principal, Principal Ashley. Ma'am, come forward. Go. Yes, ma'am. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
See, you got to follow directions. Good afternoon. I need to be able to see. It has been one amazing journey, but it's been a good one. And so good afternoon to our families, to Governor Hogan, Mayor Scott, 21st Century Schools, our elected officials, Baltimore City Schools commissioners, members of city schools, definitely members of Highlandtown 237. I love my team. And our honored guests. Thank you for joining us today as we celebrate the grand reopening, or the grand opening, of our newly renovated and expanded Highlandtown Elementary School, number 237, Elementary Middle School, number 237. Let me not forget my middle schoolers over there. We are extremely excited to be coming home. We moved out in July of 2020 at the height of the pandemic uncertainty. It's been a unique journey, and with the support of everyone here, because each of you has played a role in helping us to navigate this and get back to where we want to be, we are coming home in a few weeks. Our children are excited to have 21st century classrooms. They have new furniture, they have a playground, they have a soccer field, they have amazing technology. And our teachers are happy about updated technology in classroom doors and walls that go all the way to the ceiling. It's the little things that make us happy. To each of you who has worked alongside us along this entire journey, the 21st Century team at Baltimore City Schools, the late calls, the emails, the early calls, the texts, and everything in between, you've been there with us every step of the way. Thank you. Most especially, though, sin embargo, sobre todo gracias a nuestras familias. Nos ha confiado a sus hijos incluso cuando nos mandamos del vecindario y ya no podían caminar a la escuela. Es una responsabilidad que no tomamos a las ligera y apreciamos que continuaré colaborando con nuestros en la educación de sus hijos. Juntos terminemos este como un año incredible. What I've said to my families is that I especially thank them because they've trusted us with their children, even as we moved away from the neighborhood and they could no longer walk to school. It is a responsibility that we do not take lightly, and we appreciate all of our families for continuing to partner with us in our children's education. Together, let's finish this as an awesome year. From the entire Highlandtown Elementary Middle number 237 family, thank you. We can't wait to be home. And I'm supposed to introduce one of my children. Which one, Dr. Santelises, is first? Jason. Come, my love. Jason Guevara is one of our 6th grade students from Highlandtown Elementary, middle number 237, and he has a few things he'd like to say. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's ribbon cutting ceremony. My name is Jason, and I'm a 6th grade student and member of our school's yearbook and journalism club. Who's ready for the grand new opening of this new and improved school? I know I am. Can we get a round of applause for the people who worked so hard to create this new learning facility? This new building is going to make a great difference in this community. More kids can attend this school because there will be more space for everyone. That means more education for more scholars. Also, there will be more outdoor activities for the kids because there is a playground for our younger scholars. And the one thing the majority of the kids love here, a soccer field to play on. As far as getting to school each day, students will no longer have to take a bus or have their parents drive them to or from school. They won't have to worry about missing because most of us live in the neighborhood where our school is located, meaning we could get to school by walking. We all can use more exercise. A 21st century school means the improvements to our school environment will support teaching for our educators and learning for our scholars so that we will be prepared for a successful college experience and eventually, a long time from now for some of us and a short time from now for others, a successful career. An improved Highlandtown Elementary Middle School 237 means 12 years from now, you'll be able to hire me as your attorney. In closing, a revitalized Highlandtown Elementary Middle School 237 means a community with new opportunities for students, residents, and businesses to partner for a better future for all of us.
That was Jason Guevara Mendoza. Nice work, young man. Our next speaker, wait a minute, where am I here now? Will be Anthony Ruano. Come on, Anthony. Anthony is one of our 4th grade students at Highlandtown 237.
Hi, my name is Anthony, and we are grateful to be back in our neighborhood. Being in a brand new space means that we can learn a lot better. The teachers' boards and computers will work a lot better without any interruptions. The temperature will be controlled. We will have clean and relaxed environment. Learning new technology will help us learn better. Being engaged in learning is important for future opportunities for jobs.
And that was Anthony Ruano, one of our 4th grade students. It is my great pleasure to introduce our Comptroller-elect, Brooke Lierman.
Been a little while. Good to see you. Thank you. Good afternoon. Well, before I begin, I just want to let Jason know that we are in need of lawyers in the comptroller's office. So go get that degree and you've got a job. And we'll go to Senate President Ferguson and ask about raises. It is so exciting to be here. I am so honored to have just a couple minutes to add my voice to to echo the enthusiasm and the gratitude to people. You know, there's a saying that I love from one of my favorite authors, Dr. Seuss, and he reminds us that unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. And what is so great about being in this room today is there are so many people who care a whole awful lot. People like Governor Hogan, people like Senate President Ferguson and Andrew and Dr. Santelises and Bibi Verdery from the ACLU and Frank and Denise Ashley and the Southeast CDC and Comité Latino and so many parents and community members who came to so many Zoom meetings, I was on a lot, to make sure that this school, and the mayor and the councilwoman, so many who contributed to make sure that this school was everything that Jason and Anthony and all the students and all our educators and all our paraeducators need it to be. Because without building this great school, we know that you can't do your best, and we want you to maximize your potential. I see Delegate Luke Klippinger in the back too, who joined us to make sure that we were building a school that's worthy of each and every one of you. And I'm so excited because we have done just that. You know, the last time I was here was when World Central Kitchen was here. You remember that? And we handed out thousands of meals every week with World Central Kitchen to so many families. And when we left, we knew we wouldn't be coming back to the same building, and we knew that was a good thing, because the building that we imagined was one that would be worthy of all of you, and it is. So I am thrilled to be here today. A new building, a new play space, more community space to continue to make this school what it really is. It's the heart of the community. It's the heart of the community. And that's what this school can continue to be. So I have not one, but 2 citations for Principal Ashley in this very strange period of my life when I am 2 things, sort of. I have first a citation from the District 46 team, which I am so proud to be a part of. Senate President Bill Ferguson, Delegate Luke Klippinger, Delegate Robin Lewis and I have a citation from the current comptroller, Peter Francho, and I'm just honored to be here to say thank you for all of your leadership. I look forward to coming back over and over again to participate in the community. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Wait, I have to introduce a wonderful new member of the school board. We are so thrilled to have him. If you don't know him, he runs an amazing organization called the Digital Harbor Foundation. He has been instrumental in helping Baltimore City bridge the digital divide, and we're so lucky to have him here today. Andrew Coy.
So good afternoon, everyone. First off, I know I'm the last person standing between the talking portion of this, the ribbon cutting, and then the tour. So I'm gonna try to be brief, but I'm excited to be here today on behalf of the Baltimore City Board of School Commissioners. I am the most recently mayoral appointed school commissioner and just concluding 2 months. And in that 2 months of onboarding and meeting with all sorts of folks throughout the school system, I want to just tell you how inspired, humbled, and impressed I am by all of the incredible work that is going on to make city schools great. And I will add, as I can say that I've learned directly that whatever all the challenges we face, and we have ones we need to overcome, and this building represents part of that building process, however much good you think is happening in city schools, there's so much more that is happening than we can talk about all over the district. There's even more. I have and been inspired by students, including Jason and Anthony just here today, which, by the way, World Cup's going on right now and we're missing one of the games, but we'll catch it afterwards. I'm inspired by you. I'm inspired by the students that we actually recognized last night at the City School Public School Board Commission for their artistic prowess and impressive skills, by the teachers. Maryland Teacher of the Year this year, Ms. Beryl Dowdy, is one of our own Baltimore City Schools, and in fact, 3 of the past 5 Maryland Teachers of the Year are Baltimore City school teachers. I'm inspired and impressed and humbled by our staff. Principal Ashley and the whole team here at Highlandtown are amazing, and all of you that are running things like the Student Choice Fair and the work that's been going on earlier this month, everything behind the scenes that the staff do, from bus routes to work, to school meals for students, all of those things make the schools work. And thank you to our parents who entrust your children to our schools and have such dreams and aspirations for your children. And also some of our own parents here, Senator Ferguson and Comptroller-elect Lierman, that have students in city schools. Thank you. Thank you to Mayor Scott and to Governor Hogan. Thank you to our alum, who not only is the mayor an alum, but this year, the 2022 Nobel Prize in Physics went to a Baltimore City student alum, Dr. John Clauser. So I said I'd be brief, but I just want to set the narrative straight that however much good I can say about what City Schools is doing, there is so much more inspiring work that is happening all over the district than I can even say. This building represents that, as well as the other 26 schools that have been built, and there's even more coming and need to come. In my role here representing the board, I want to lift up that one of the school board's top priorities is ensuring that city schools have high quality, modernized facilities and resources that support the success of our students, educators, administrators, and staff, and that serve the community. Today's ribbon cutting is yet another example of the district's efforts to provide a state-of-the-art learning environment for our students and families, and that will serve the community. And so it is not the last, but this development, Highlandtown Elementary Middle School 237, will be life-changing for everyone involved. The learning in these walls and opportunities that start here will have reverberations around the city, our country, and dare I say, the world. The board will do all in our power to make the transition to this new environment as smooth as possible. In our governance and policy roles, we'll work to ensure everything is in place for our students to receive the outstanding education that they need and deserve. So with that, thank you to everyone who came out here to support Highlandtown Elementary Middle School 237. Following the ribbon cutting, there'll be tours of the facility available to guests beginning in the rear of the gym, as well as community resource tables in the cafeteria. So it is now my pleasure to invite back up our speakers to join me for the ribbon cutting here at the front line.